A 100 amp lithium iron phosphate battery for well under $300? Sign me up.
Stick around and we'll get right to it.
Now, you guys may have seen the video just a while back where I was upgrading several things on my radio desk. One thing that wasn't shown in that video because I didn't have this battery yet was a battery upgrade. And I've had a couple of companies reach out to me wanting me to do a video on their battery. The first one was dead on arrival. The next one didn't even pass the capacity test. So when GoKW reached out and asked if I wanted to check out their battery, well, I absolutely agreed to it. And this one will definitely have a home in the shack. Now, this is a 12.8 volt 100 amp hour battery, giving us 1280 watt hours of capacity. It measures 13.5 inches long, 7.25 inches wide, and 8.5 inches tall, weighing just over 23 pounds. The battery currently retails for $319 on the GoKW site. However, if you use code KM4ACK 12V, you can get a $60 discount, bringing the price down to just $259, which is pretty remarkable for a 100 amp hour battery. Now, one of the cool features I really liked about this battery is it's got built-in Bluetooth, which saves me about $130. The 100 amp hour battery that I put in the RV a couple of years back, I had to purchase a Bluetooth shunt to go along with that so that I could have those battery readings on my phone. Well, this GoKW battery already has that built in to the battery itself. And they put a little QR code right on the outside of the battery so you can just scan that with your phone and then download the app. The Bluetooth app is really well done. Now, currently my battery is on charge. You can see right up at the top, I've got 55% of the juice put back into the battery. It tells me right below that on the left, the remaining capacity of the battery, and it tells me an estimated charge time over there on the right. Underneath that, in the white box, you can see the total volts of the battery is 13.31 volts right now, and the current going into the battery at this time is just over 3 amps. If we scroll down to the very bottom, you will even see the single voltage information for each individual cell. Another really cool use for the Bluetooth app is you can actually turn on and off the charging and the discharging. So if we wanted to turn off the charge right now, we could simply click on that and that turns the charge off. Let's go back over and take a look at the other screen, and you'll see now that the current is 0 amps, indicating that it's not being charged at all. Let's go back to that screen and let's turn the charger back on and just verify that we do have current going back into the battery again. Now, all of these features are really cool and I absolutely love them. However, they don't do us any good if the battery can't pull full capacity. So I set the battery up to do a capacity test. And for this test, I used the MakerHawk electronic load tester. I'll leave a link to this down in the description below. This is a really slick little device that right now is less than $40 on Amazon. Now, I set the battery up for 0.1C discharge, which is 10 amps for a 100 amp hour battery. And it took 11.5 hours to complete that test. And I'm happy to report that it actually pulled just over 102 amp hours. Now, something else I was curious about as the test went along was how did that Bluetooth app correlate to what that MakerHawk tester was showing me? And I was surprised that it was very, very close between the two of them. So later today, I plan on removing the 36 amp hour battery that I had running as a backup battery and replacing it with this new 100 amp hour battery. That should give me quite a bit more capacity in the event of a power failure. In addition to that, I wanted to figure out how to hot swap the batteries so I could pull one out and charge it if I needed to. What I ended up doing was just using a power pole splitter at the end of the cable. I'll keep the 100 amp hour battery plugged up all the time. In the event of an extended power outage and I started to deplete that battery, well, then I could swap back in the 36 amp hour while I charged the 100 amp hour battery with solar. Once it was fully recharged, then I could just reverse the process. So this gives me a way to not only run the shack on backup batteries, but also a way to replenish a depleted battery for the time being. Now, hopefully I can get solar installed at some point in the future, but for now, this is going to have to do. If you found today's information helpful, be sure to leave us a thumbs up before you head off. We will see you guys on the next one. Until then, 7-3.